When you think about cats of different colors, do you associate those colors with certain personality traits or characteristics? I've noticed over the years that certain groups of characteristics tend to be associated, at least in our minds, with certain colors. Orange cats are characterized as playful, friendly, and a little bit dim. Tuxedo cats are characterized as loyal. Tortoiseshells have a reputation for being temperamental. And gray cats are often seen as more shy, while tabby cats as a whole are seen as more adventurous and free-spirited. But is there really anything to this? Can your cat's coat color actually have any impact on their personality? In this video, we're going to dive deep to get the answer to this fascinating question. The short answer to this question is that we have no real substantial or conclusive evidence that a cat's coat color is correlated with any particular personality traits. But it's not a closed case. There is enough evidence anecdotally that cats of different colors have different personalities, and there are enough complex factors at play that it does seem like a possibility. First off, let's get an understanding of how your cat's coat develops genetically. So your cat's color comes from their genes, and it is inherited from both of their parents. Because most coat colors are sex-linked genes, your cat's sex is going to play a part in which color they're most likely to be. So for example, male cats are much more likely to be orange than female cats, and almost all tortoiseshell or calico cats are female. And this comes down to the way that pigmentation develops in a cat genetically. So we already have one of the puzzle pieces here. We know that color and gender can be linked, so perhaps there might be some correlation here, but I'll go into more detail on that later. Now, remember that the vast majority of cats are not bred by humans. They choose their own mates and they are naturally bred. What this means is that humans are not selecting cats of certain colors to be bred with cats of other colors, and so the population and the distribution of color is determined by the cats. And how coat color plays a role in the selection of mates is unclear and up to the cats. And we aren't really seeing any clear patterns in terms of which colors are tending to be chosen by cats under certain circumstances. However, there was one interesting bit of research done that showed that orange cats may have a slightly different mating strategy than cats of other colors. And so we may find that male orange cats may use more of an outgoing personality in order to get mates. Now, when it comes to purebred cats, there definitely is some control in how color is inherited through these lines of cats. Humans will select certain colors and try to reinforce those in their purebred cats. Now, there's no clear indication that color is associated with different personalities, though colors and patterns will be grouped in certain breeds, and those breeds will develop certain personalities. What we do know is that personality can be kind of inherited. It's recognized that cats who are born to friendly, outgoing fathers tend to be more friendly and outgoing, while aloof fathers, even if they had no interaction with the kittens, tend to produce more aloof babies. And so seeing that personality is heritable and knowing that there are these lines of cats with certain colors and certain personality traits, it stands to reason that the color may also be associated with certain personality traits. And there is some hypothesis that there might be some sort of hitchhiking effect where a color gene is associated with a certain personality or behavioral gene, and those are inherited together. But again, we have no confirmation of any of this. It's just a hypothesis. Of course, while there is a genetic component to personality or behavioral traits, socialization plays a much bigger role here. And so the interactions that a kitten has with people and other cats as a very young cat will have a far greater impact on their long-term personality traits and behavioral patterns than their father's personality did. Now, the last factor I want to talk about is sex. Temperament differences are commonly reported between male and female cats. People will often report that their male cats tend to be a little bit more relaxed, more friendly, more human-oriented, while their female cats tend to have more high-strung personalities, and they tend to be a little bit more sensitive a little bit more temperamental. There isn't any concrete evidence. However, we do know that male and female cats show behavioral differences in a natural setting. So for example, female cats will tend to stay closer to the clouder or the group of cats that they live with, while male cats tend to kind of go out on their own, roam around and try to find mates. And so these different behavioral patterns and social patterns seem to suggest that there may be personality or behavioral differences on an individual level as well. And considering that a cat's sex has an impact on which color they're most likely to be, it just makes sense that there might be a correlation, and the reports line up. So it does seem that sex may largely explain a lot of these stereotypes that we have around certain cat coat colors. We have a few ways that cats' coat color may be related to their personality. One is selective pressures in natural feline environments, though we really don't have much evidence for this outside of some old data from a study on cat coat colors looking at orange cats specifically. We also know that in lines of purebred cats, there may be some kind of incidental correlation between color and personality. And thirdly, there may be a relationship between sex and personality, which is also being reflected in those colors. All of this is kind of speculative. We don't really know the answer here. But what we do know is that the human perception is real. For example, one cat owner survey looked at how many different cat owners described their cats in a number of different areas. And consistently, there were groupings of these traits with coat colors. So for example, gray cats were described as shy, aloof, and intolerant, while orange cats were rated as being more friendly. Tabby cats were described consistently as bold and active. Tortoiseshell cats were described as stubborn, and bicolor cats, presumably tuxedo cats, were rated as the most tolerant of all of the colors. So these human perceptions are consistent, and they line up with the reports that I'm seeing elsewhere on the web and in my conversations with people. There definitely seems to be something in our heads where we're seeing these cats in certain ways. And I think that it is a multifaceted issue. One is that there may actually be some sort of real biological dimension to this, where we're recognizing certain traits in certain coat colors for all of the reasons I described. But I think there are also stereotypes at play, where perhaps these associations can change over time. Maybe they're different in different cultures. I don't think that we have enough research to really know or have an answer to this. And then regardless of where it's coming from, we're also affecting the cats with our perceptions. So whether we're observing something that is, quote, real, or we're observing something that's based on our own kind of biases and stereotypes, we're having a real effect on our cats. So if you are perceiving your cat as, oh, this cat's going to be kind of intolerant because they have a certain color, then you can shape that cat into having those traits. So our perceptions affect our cats and reinforce the beliefs that we have about them. And considering that the way that we treat our cats has such a huge effect on their behavior and the way that they interact with us, it's important to keep these things in mind and sort of treat our cats in a way that will cultivate the cat we want to share our lives with. So I hope this was interesting for you. It was certainly interesting for me to explore this question. And I would love to hear about your thoughts in the comments, personal experiences with cats of different colors. Did they have different personalities based on their color? Did you notice any patterns? I would love to hear about it. So with that said, I will be in the comments hanging out and answering your questions. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.